There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trials. Why?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Ask her if she wants me to start the car up for her, get it warm.
Hey, Ellen.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy?
Ellen,
He's been on your show many times.
Have a good night.
Have you been to his party?
Think about the sheer amount of untouchables sitting on those leaked manifests. We're not just talking about people who went out to party. Let's use the real terms here. We are talking about systematic, protected operations. Everyone asks who is actually at the freak-offs, but the real question you should be asking is, have you been watching the ripples from the trial? Because what's bubbling to the surface right now isn't just wild, it's calculated. Ask yourself why the mainstream media completely swept this next connection under the rug. Let's look at Ellen DeGeneres. For years, the hip-hop mogul was a permanent fixture on her stage. But behind the dancing, the safe daytime laughs, and the casual banter, did she actually know exactly what was happening behind closed doors? Better yet, was she a guest? Joe Rogan just blew the lid clean off the darkest pipeline in entertainment history, linking Ellen and Diddy straight to the infrastructure of Epstein Island. And the reality is far more terrifying than the internet ever guessed. For decades, we've watched the elite trade side eyes and quiet favor.
Who talk in bed? Really?
This is not how you play the game?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a turn on. Somebody talking baby talk to you.
No, it's just talking.
No,
Talking dirty.
No, baby talk.
Talking is in the category talking dirty.
Is it
Let me explain something to you. There's no rules in talking dirty.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seen to show up.
No, well, is it on Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party night. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
But Rogan just mapped out the network in a way that left the entire industry paralyzed. If these allegations lock into place, we aren't looking at a Hollywood scandal. We're looking at the architecture of why the most powerful people on Earth stayed silent. If you've been analyzing the elite power structures, this twist makes perfect sense. The rumors have ceased being quiet whispers. There is persistent talk that Diddy wasn't working a solo operation on Epstein's coordinates.
Yeah, he's a man now. He's 21.
Even better.
Yeah.
Better for me.
He's very...
Oh, is not possible.
He's
I have
handsome.
not seen that.
Oh,
That
no?
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
I know. He's
I think he'd go on
Look at that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Stop it. It's not possible.
I made a turtleneck for you because I know you're a fan. So
look at that. That's so great. I can be.
That's what you're called if you're I think I have one more. I heart Bieber. So depending on the mood, you
Oh my God.
yeah, cool for around the house.
Yeah, I can wear that.
Wear this when I invite you over next
I
time.
would like to. Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Ellen. This
Now,
is really fabulous.
would that be the youngest if you went out with you a cougar? Do you consider yourself a cougar?
Well, I'd like to. I haven't had the opportunity except when I have a job. And when I have a job, then what happens, they have to kiss me sometimes. We've discussed this many times.
Right.
But when I have nobody... Uh-oh, did you see... No! Oh, my God, no!
We are talking about a leverage ecosystem built on tapes. Not shaky cell phone clips, but highly classified, illegal recordings of systemic abuse designed to completely end careers if anyone stepped out of line. And a dark thread of these rumors traces right back to the gatekeepers of daytime TV. Rogan didn't just stumble onto this. He watched the evidence compile before turning the key on the conversation. Ellen and Diddy weren't just standard industry allies trading PR favors. According to the data Rogan is highlight reeling, their nexus ran into the deepest, unregulated spaces. The exact rooms where personal devices are confiscated at the threshold and standard laws cease to exist. We all watched Ellen host Diddy, giggling through stories about his extravagant lifestyle like it was harmless content. But Rogan's theory turns that narrative upside down. Those couch interviews weren't entertainment. They were the public-facing vetting station for a highly private pipeline. Look at how that massive daytime empire was engineered from the ground up. The pristine branding, the endless dancing, the curated wholesome surprises. It was the ultimate psychological Trojan horse, a brand specifically designed to make parents trust putting their children on that stage. Young, hyper-talented kids viewed it as a safe launchpad. A teenage Justin Bieber was a recurring guest. Sophia, Grace, and Rosie were brought in as digital darlings chasing a dream. It looked sterile. But Rogan's warning is clear. Look past the bright studio lights. These platforms were effectively operational funneling systems, introducing vulnerable, fresh faces directly to predators with absolute immunity. This is where Diddy re-enters the frame. When you examine the kinetic energy between Ellen and Diddy with fresh eyes, the context turns sinister. The same host projecting absolute empathy was allegedly facilitating the movement of young stars into environments that permanently altered them. Even Usher explicitly admitted on record that he witnessed deeply disturbing, curious things while living in Diddy's household as a minor, stating flatly he would never let his own flesh and blood near that world. Yet, a young Bieber was pushed directly into that exact same orbit. Suddenly, old footage of Diddy boasting about spending 48 unmonitored hours with a 13-year-old Bieber doesn't look like industry mentorship. It looks like an intake process. Then we have the harrowing testimony of survivors like Ollie Carter. She has spent years screaming into the void, explicitly claiming she was trafficked by these elite networks straight into these high-profile spaces. She clarifies that this didn't start when she was an adult looking for fame. It began when she was a legal minor. Her testimony alleges that the state foster care systems, which were supposed to shield her, were actually operating as a supply chain, funneling unprotected children directly to Diddy's private estates. Rogan brought her story back to the forefront because it provides the missing piece to the pattern. Let this reality sink in. The Ghislaine-Maxwell comparison is where the narrative becomes undeniable. Maxwell was the operational manager who secured and controlled the supply lines for Jeffrey Epstein's network. She was tried, convicted, and locked behind bars. But Ellen? In Rogan's framing, she operated in plain, unobstructed sight. Her network gave young prodigies global visibility, and then allegedly unlocked the doors to the ultra-exclusive circles that perfectly mirrored the transactional abuse of both Diddy's operations and Epstein's properties. The streets are asking a brutal question. Is Ellen the daytime equivalent of Ghislaine Maxwell? Except one is in a cell, and the other quietly liquidated her assets and fled. The timing of her total departure from the United States is what has the entire internet talking. The moment the legal temperature rose, Ellen packed up and left the country. The optics are glaring. Mainstream narratives claim she was pushed out by cancel culture over a toxic workplace, but independent investigators are looking at a much darker timeline. She didn't just retire, she completely extracted herself to a secluded estate in the Cotswolds, UK. No handcuffs, no grand jury, no accountability. Rogan highlights this exact double standard as the most alarming part of the entire machine. That dark overlap is why the public refuses to let this drop. Diddy's operation and Epstein's network shared the exact same cloaked security mechanisms. If you trace the young stars who entered that specific machine, you see the immediate psychological fallout. Look at Justin Bieber's public trajectory, the severe emotional collapses, the sudden isolation from his original circles, and his erratic, tearful interviews where he begged the public to let him protect the next generation, like Billie Eilish, from the things he endured. Protect them from what exactly? The trail doesn't stop there. Britney Spears' name has repeatedly resurfaced in unredacted files regarding elite control structures. During her highly contested conservatorship, she was trapped inside specialized psychiatric facilities, stripped of fundamental human rights, and kept under constant chemical restraint. And then there is the haunting case of Aaron Carter. Long before his tragic end, Aaron went live on social media dozens of times, terrified, explicitly stating that powerful Hollywood figures were hunting him down and warning his fans that if anything happened to him, it was not an accident. At the time, the mainstream media dismissed his pleas as mere mental instability. But after his sudden death in late 2022, found unresponsive in a bathtub at just 34 years old, those live streams carry a chilling weight. Rogan points directly to this horrifying life cycle: pull talent in early, expose them to unmentionable trauma, and leave them to carry the psychological devastation alone while the elite power players move on to the next generation. Look at the eerie silence that blankets Hollywood whenever these names are invoked. The industry knows exactly how to insulate its most valuable assets while completely blacklisting anyone who dares to speak out. Diddy is finally facing the music, currently sitting behind bars on severe federal charges involving sex trafficking and forced labor. Reports place him enduring the brutal conditions of federal facilities, stripped of his luxury lifestyle. Yet, the elite facilitators who acted as the social bridges to these exact same rooms are still walking free in the sun. Rogan keeps pushing this imbalance into the spotlight because the math simply doesn't add up. Then came the chilling intercept of Diddy's leaked jailhouse phone calls to his son, Christian King Combs. In the recording, Diddy instructs him with highly specific, bizarre urgency to destroy the leftover pizza boxes and recycle the plastic. He explicitly tells him not to talk about anything real over the government-monitored lines. Anyone with an understanding of federal investigations knows that under surveillance, pizza boxes and plastic aren't dinner scraps. They are classic operational code words. The internet broke that code instantly. We are talking about external hard drives, encrypted flash drives, master tapes, and physical containers, assets that absolutely could not be present when federal agents executed a search warrant. And the geography makes it even worse. Look closely at the logistical layout of Diddy's primary real estate on Star Island. His mega mansions sit directly adjacent to the high-security shipping lanes of the Miami port terminal. The properties are within arm's reach of international cargo shipping lines. This geographical detail gives terrifying context to the recent port worker strikes. Striking dock workers leaked highly disturbing claims, stating their protest wasn't merely about standard wages. It was because multiple workers were witnessing sealed cargo containers moving through the port containing the auditory sounds of distressed, crying children. Because of the extreme proximity to elite compounds, independent researchers believe these international ports were being utilized as unmonitored human trafficking corridors. The language remains identical across every single survivor testimony: foster networks, hyper-exclusive elite parties, absolute lockdown on phones, and complete disregard for age or legal consent. The industry creates an absolute exclusion zone where the standard rules of society simply vanish. When the heat reached a boiling point, the ultimate daytime icon fled across the Atlantic. The public is finally refusing to swallow the corporate PR. As one commentator noted online, the elite only leave the jurisdiction when they realize the protection of the system is about to expire. What if the bright, smiling, family-friendly daytime television host wasn't just a performer? What if that entire multi-million-dollar brand was simply the ultimate camouflage for a pipeline that left a generation of young talent completely broken? Rogan has forced the conversation into the light, and the dominoes are starting to fall. Drop your theories in the comments section below, because this network goes deeper than anyone wants to admit. Like, subs.